The college football experience, Michigan State Spartans 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented by WynnBet. Bet $50 at WynnBet, get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBet. Download the WynnBet app now or visit wynnbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold, hard cash with their brand new over/under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to IPVanish.com/SGP. That's IPVanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by SGPN Discord. Yes. Make sure to check out our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat out bets with the SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Michigan State Spartans 2022 season preview episode. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
Nobody knows nothing.
Somebody knows. Double the price. But no one touches Dundee.
I hope these Michigan State fans are thanking me for riding the over last year on 5.5 wins. Oh man, your boy Dundee
that one.
Was on it. I am joined by my co-host, former JMU Duke defensive back. Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh, up.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's cooking and the whole world's looking with the cameras.
Yes, buddy. I was on the Sparty essentially last year.
I mean, you hit by mid-season.
It was a pretty obvious play to me. I thought the schedule lined up for them. You know, I was not buying into the Miami Hurricanes. I was not buying into. I thought they could get Northwestern because they got them the year before, and I was like, they can get Northwestern. They'll beat Youngstown State. They'll beat Miami. I was like, Nebraska's a 50-50 game, and then
In
Western
East Lansing,
Kentucky.
that's a good bet.
Yeah, and then Rutgers, and I was like, this is a great schedule.
And then Indiana, who
that is honestly the greatest. Well, the only winning team was Miami in the first
After
7 games.
Well, that is 7. They started out 8-0. Holy.
Well, but I'm saying is Miami was 7-5. So you're getting. I mean, I guess Western Kentucky ended up having a winning season, but at the moment they weren't winning. Either way, Patty C, I cashed that thing.
That was kind of a cakewalk.
When you that's why you listen to Pick Dundee.
There it is.
Meanwhile, Mel Tucker cashed in on like $100 billion. I feel like he just bought the planet. He cashed in on that season.
$95 million contract.
Something crazy. And I got to be honest, I know that Michigan State's got money and it's a good situation.
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone deserves that much money after 2 years.
Especially when his 2 years as being a coach were losing seasons. He got it after the season though. So.
Yeah. So I'm saying he's 13-7 at MSU. For 18-14 though as a head football coach. Now, look, I get it. He left Colorado in a terrible way, right? But he had to do what he had to do. But regardless, I just think I think he's probably going to be a good coach at Michigan State. I just think that's crazy to give that much money.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, Patty C, when I look at it from last year, although the schedule lined up great for me, I'm going to go ahead and say that this was the luckiest team in college football.
Wow. Some of these scores say that you're wrong about that.
No, check this out. They were 4-0 in games decided by 7 points or less, right?
Yeah.
They ended up beating Miami by a decent margin, but did you know
That game was way closer.
That's what I'm saying. They only had 14 more yards than Miami.
Yeah, the game
Right?
was like 17-17 in the fourth quarter.
Nebraska should have beaten Michigan State. Nebraska outgained Michigan State by 212 yards.
Yeah.
Right? Indiana outgained Michigan State by 100 yards. Michigan outgained Michigan State by 160 yards, and they had a terrible call again. Like Michigan really should have scored a touchdown on one of those fumbles.
To Michigan State's credit, they played pretty well in that game, but Michigan played better. But
my point is, and then as you add in the bowl game where Kenny Pickett and like 3 other players don't play for Pitt, I don't buy in to that. Like, look, I cashed on the over.
Yeah, I
am convinced that is not an 11-win football team.
Well, is there a part of you that's still mad at Mel Tucker?
No, that's what I'm saying. I locked up last year on the over.
Yeah,
I was glad to win, but I'm telling you, I watched the Nebraska game. Nebraska was the better team that day. They lost, right?
Yeah.
I watched the Michigan game. I thought Michigan's a better team that day. They lost, right? The Indiana game, I didn't watch it. I mean, I think you had it on the TV.
Indiana outgained
by
them?
over 100 yards, right? That's what I'm saying. And the fact you're 4-0 in games by 7 points or less, that's very rare that a team does that. So I do think we should proceed with caution.
I agree.
Let's hop into it, man.
Let's give credit where it's due.
No, you still got to win the games. You won the games. You win the games.
The games. Mel Tucker, hell of a first year.
Second year. That's the second year.
Oh, that was the second year. Yeah. Well, COVID was his first year. It's kind of.
But he had a bad first year though.
That's true.
That counts.
But
yeah. For any coach coaching year one in COVID, they get a fucking pass. All right.
Exactly.
But I was on that. I'm telling you, that schedule broke really nice for them, in my opinion. I mean, but at the same time, Ohio State was beating them 49-0 at halftime.
Well, Ohio State came out. What happened? Ohio State came out mad, didn't they? I feel like Ohio State was being.
Well, Michigan State had I know we got to get to this in a second, but they had the worst pass defense in the country.
Yeah.
Another thing that tells me they weren't as good as 11-2. I would love to know the data. Can someone else ever find me a team that won 11 games with the worst pass defense in America?
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying. This is an anomaly.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And I mean, look, it's not to say that he's recruiting well and the future is I think going to look bright for Spartan fans.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, if you're buying into that, put a fucking asterisk next to that because I think that is a miracle season right there.
I agree. What was their rush defense? Should we get? Well, let's go to the offense.
Yeah, let's hop in. Let's hop in. Well, I mean, another thing is they hit home runs on the transfer portal. They got really fortunate on the transfer portal last year. All of them, I feel like, paid off. But Jay Johnson is back at the offensive coordinator spot. They were 38th in scoring offense, 53rd in rush offense. Kenneth Walker, obviously the star running back from a season ago, 47th in pass offense, 42nd in total offense. Payton Thorne is back at quarterback, and I think he's a decent quarterback.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a good quarterback. Jarek Broussard comes in, and son of Steve Broussard was with the Colorado Buffaloes. I think he's good.
Good for 1,500 yards over the last 2 seasons.
You talking about? Oh yeah.
Broussard.
I don't know if he's as good as Kenneth Walker, but I think he's a good running back.
Yeah.
2 of 3 are back in the wide receiving core. Jayden Reed and Tre Mosley. So I think they got a little bit of a hit there, losing Naylor, but 2 of 5 back on the O line, and I think that's what you're going to want to circle there. For a puzzling, led by they have left tackle Jared Horst coming back. He's their best offensive lineman, I think.
J-Dude Duplain is getting some preseason all conference love.
Yeah, I mean it's. So the O line 2 of 5. We'll talk transfer portal in a minute. Defensive coordinator Scotty Hazelton is back. They were 54th in scoring defense, 15th in the nation in run defense. 130th in pass defense, charting a total defense at 111th.
That's got to be that. Wow. 111th overall defense. They go 11-2. Something.
You know what helped the rush defense? This team said, "Hey, let me pass every play."
Right. Yeah, it's like, hey, why not drop an extra defender? You know, why not play some?
Why
nickel?
not put 11 back?
Right. Until you stop the pass. Whatever, it worked out for him.
It did work. 2 of 4 back on the defensive line, but they're breaking in 2 new ends. Both defensive tackles are back, which I think is probably a good thing there. Led by Jacob Slade. 1 of 3 in the linebacking core, though. Patty C led by, or I guess the sole linebacker back is Cal Halliday. 3 of 4 back in the secondary, led by cornerback Ronald Williams. But I guess the question is can the secondary be better than the worst in the country?
Well, Xavier Henderson was a 4-star and played pretty well. So that's another guy, but apparently didn't play well enough. Again,
they do lose their kicker, but their punter is back and he's money.
Bryce Berger.
Any relation to Tom?
Hello.
'Cause he's a sniper. Get it? See what I did there?
He snipes that coffin corner punt.
We're going to talk transfer portal. We're going to talk recruiting rankings, the future of Michigan State football as far as this season and the program in general. Going to talk about what Las Vegas expects from Sparty. But first, I got to get us paid. I want to tell you that the college football experience, Michigan State Spartans season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet. Get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Download the WinBet app now or visit winbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. Broussard brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold, hard cash with their brand new over-under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100 at sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to IPVanish.com/SGP. That's IPVanish.com/SGP for 70% off. We're also brought to you by SGPN Discord. Make sure to check out our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat out bets with the entire SGPN crew. So just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We're also brought to you by Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever had at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters. These are independent businesses from big cities and small towns, people. And get this, it's expert tasted. Yes, Trade has a coffee team that is just, imagine, the 72 Dolphins here. All right. Trade's coffee team actually taste tests thousands of coffees they keep over 450 different kinds live and ready to ship out to you every day. There's no one perfect coffee, but there is a perfect coffee for you. And Trade's human-powered algorithm is going to find it for you. All right. So right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started today by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/SGP and let Trade find you a coffee that you'll love. All right. We are back talking college football, talking Michigan State Spartan college football. This is a rich program. I've been watching Sparty since the days Andre Rison, Patty C.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Percy Snow, Tony Banks, Jim Miller.
Old
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Sparty's had some beasts come through.
I mean, you gotta give it a Bubba Smith, fucking Hightower and Police Academy. All right.
Let me see some.
How about James Conn? Rest in peace, James Conn. He played football for Michigan State.
Is that right?
Yeah.
One Plaxico Burris.
Yeah, he shot himself.
One T.J. Duckett.
Yeah.
He ran over some people.
How about Cedric Shaw? Right? Cedric Irvin. Cedric Shaw was
Irvin,
Iowa.
right.
Yeah. Cedric Irvin was related to Michael Irvin.
Very nice. Yeah, makes sense.
They had some players. They've had some players, man.
Jack Conklin,
Bobby Wilson. If you go far enough back.
There you go.
But Patty C. And by the way, subscribe on YouTube, folks, to the College Football Experience or wherever you listen to podcasts. Please subscribe. Help us out. And also, we've been doing this shit for years, but we're breaking down all 131 college football teams with a solo podcast for every single team in the land. So check us out, tell a friend. And also remember, we also host the College Basketball Experience. And I am excited always. We talk college basketball year round. I'm always excited for Sparty basketball. Love what Tom Izzo has built over there.
Man.
I mean, all the way. I mean, that's another thing. We can go Sean Respert, Eric Snow, all the way to Mateen Cleaves. Yeah, I got a sound drop from him somewhere. mean, you go. They keep a good program, man.
Yeah,
They keep a good program. Yeah.
I mean, look, you see this UVA hat. You guys dealt us some painful moments.
They play Gonzaga on a aircraft carrier in San Diego on, I believe, November 12th, if memory serves me correct. I'm excited for that one. We will have you covered as we talk college basketball year round. We handicap every single college basketball and college football game.
Where is that? Where is that off? What coast is that off of?
The Pacific.
We should get out there.
How do we get out there?
We
Isn't
buy
it a gift for the fans? I mean, for the
military.
Yeah.
Is that what that's probably what it is.
Maybe.
Well, we'll join the military so we can go watch Sparty play.
You ready to get a background check done? I don't think you want that. I don't think you want that smoke.
That's
all right.
true. I did see someone putting a request for the Trojans versus the Spartans in the Roman Coliseum. Let's make that.
I like
happen.
it. I like it. Let's do it. You want to talk bowl games? Let's do it.
That's right. Let the little tiger out of the bottom during the middle of the game. Come on, gladiator style.
I like that. I like that. So the transfer portal, obviously, like I said, I don't think there was a team in the country that hit better on the transfer portal last year than Michigan State. The question is can they do it again? Because they did go and got Jarek Broussard. They also got former 5-star Jalen Berger from Wisconsin. So Jarek Broussard from Colorado.
Nice.
Jalen Berger from Wisconsin. They got tight end Daniel Barker from Illinois. They play this year. What the hell is that about?
Slap in the face.
Cornerback Amir Speed from the Georgia Bulldogs.
Team speed.
Yes. Offensive. This is a key get right here. Was getting offensive lineman Brian Green from Washington State. He was a starter there, so I think that is going to help. It's an impact player day one when he came to East Lansing. Linebacker Aaron Brule from Mississippi State. Defensive end Chris Bogle from Florida, and linebacker Jacoby Windman from UNLV round out that group.
So you're seeing a lot of production, not only good players, but guys that they're gonna play and contribute.
I think so, but I mean, they did lose a lot. So let's key in on that. Former 4-star linebacker Quavius Crouch in the portal. Cornerback Antoine Booth in the portal. Running back Donovan Eaglin in the portal. Tight end Parks Gissinger in the portal. Offensive lineman James Ohamba to the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. And that's a guy who played in, I think, over I think 20 games the past 2 years. Offensive lineman Jacob Isaiah to the Fresno State Bulldogs. They also lost defensive lineman Kyle King to Ball State. Defensive lineman Tyler Watson to Don Brown at UMass. Linebacker Cole DeMazzo to the Wyoming Cowboys. Wide receiver Ian Stewart to Temple. Tight end Cameron Allen to SMU. Defensive lineman Jack Camper to the Virginia Cavaliers. Woo. Wide receiver CJ Hayes to the Syracuse Orangemen. Tight end former 4-star Trenton Gillison in the portal. Wide receiver Ricky White in the portal. Safety Michael Gravely Jr. in the portal. Safety Emmanuel Flowers in the portal. Safety Michael Dowell to I believe Miami, Ohio. Linebacker Chase Klein to the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Cornerback Kalen Gervin to Lance Leipold and the Kansas Jayhawks.
Another mass exodus here.
And defensive end Alex Okello in the portal.
Sounds like they lost a lot more than they brought in.
Yeah, but I do think there's some of those were just backups. So I actually think they're kind of I want to call it either a wash.
Well, how does that work? Like, you have X amount of scholarships. You would think your incoming transfer portal and outgoing transfer portal players would have to be somewhat similar in terms of numbers.
Yeah. I mean,
unless you're just like giving walk-ons, scholars.
I'm sure some of these guys left when they thought they were coming back, and some of them left like because there was no opportunity that they figured they might hit the portal.
Yeah.
But either way, I do think it's kind of a wash. I mean, I do think Broussard, a couple of those guys will be difference makers right away.
Yeah.
Brian Green. I think Bogle will probably be an impact player right away, but it will be interesting to see. It's something to monitor this season. How's recruiting rankings overall, Patty C? Man, now that NIL is legal, I think Michigan State could be a fucking juggernaut.
Yeah.
With the amount of money that their super booster throws in there, watch out. Watch out.
I mean, Michigan State as a program in terms of like, it has two of the. I mean, what's the enrollment at Michigan State? I think it's huge. Right?
I think it's pretty huge. Yeah,
that is a state with two real schools that have high end potential there, which is pretty rare, I think. But Michigan State definitely has a lot of money. Recruiting wise, they could come up quite a bit because nationally over the last 5 cycles, 31, 33, 46, 47, and 26. Now, a lot of that is due to the transition between D'Antonio, COVID,
and Tucker. Yeah,
and Tucker.
Makes
a
sense.
bad transition
Makes
there.
sense.
But within the conference, that's been good for 6, 7, and then back to 10, 10. But all the way up to number 4 this year, you said a huge influx of NIL money is probably largely responsible for that.
Yes, 100%.
4-year composite's been within 6 or 7 within the conference.
And if you're watching on YouTube, we have the sweet graphic here. Shout out to the SGPN graphics team. But Las Vegas is projecting 7.5 wins, Patty C, and they're leaning towards 8. The over is at -130, the under at +110. So they're saying, hey, Michigan State, you're going to go 8-4 most likely.
Maybe 7.
Let's hop into it. Yeah, maybe 7-5.
What
Patty
do you lean
C,
off the top?
I lean under. I said this last year watching them, even in the Pitt game. I said, you know what? I think they are an incredibly lucky team this year. And I actually look. I say this. I cashed in on this. I was on the over last year, but I think they're one of the more luckier teams I've seen in the past decade for one season.
Well, anytime you have Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State in your division, you're looking at 3 losses typically. But Michigan State has performed on their level kind of lately.
Well, another thing, I mean, that we should key in on is last year, they drew Northwestern and Nebraska, who combined for 6 wins or something last year from the West.
Yeah,
and Purdue, right? And they lost to Purdue, right?
Man.
So
Northwestern, Nebraska, and Purdue were their cross division games.
That's what I'm saying, and they
That's
lost
crazy.
to Purdue. And you look at this year, they're getting Minnesota, who I think is going to be pretty good, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Now Illinois, who knows? But I'm saying I think it's just going to be
tougher.
Yes,
It's a tougher cross division.
So let's hop into it.
Should we talk real quick about what they've done lately, though?
What do you mean?
In terms of D'Antonio, from 2010 to 2017, 1, 2, 3,
Great run.
4,
Great
5,
run.
6 10+ win seasons.
And they've kind of owned Michigan. They've owned Michigan. Not only Mel Tucker, but also I feel like D'Antonio's track record against Michigan was really impressive.
I was looking at that.
Yeah.
Earlier, Michigan was on a stretch starting in the 90s and going into the early 2000s, winning 10 out of 12. Now, Michigan State has won 10 out of the last 14. That is big brother status now.
And I'll have Michigan State fans know that your boy here picked Dundee. I think one of my if I had to talk about the worst bets, here at the Sports Gambling Podcast and the College Football Experience that I've ever had in my life, where my heart got broke. It's not that I'm not a Michigan fan by any means, right? I had Michigan on the money line in that game where the punter. Oh my God!
That is one of the funniest endings to a game.
Oh man, was that a time? I was with my friend who's gone now. He's passed away, but
just screaming at the TV.
well, no, I thought I already won. I told him I was like, yes, these people. I knew Harbaugh was going to get this one, and then boom, that play happens, and I ate shit.
Sweet.
I remember
Providence.
exactly where I'll remember that the rest of my life. That loss was brutal. It was almost as bad as that parlay in San Diego.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that one was brutal too. Let me tell you what. I remember where I was. I was in Salt Lake City, Utah, visiting my buddy. Pretty not okay to curse in public down there. I'll say that. And I am a Michigan fan, and so the last play of the game that happens, and I'm screaming in the restaurant F-bombs left and right. My boy is trying to corral me. It was an ugly scene, but very, very funny in hindsight.
I mean, that meme that goes with that Michigan fan,
Surrender Cobra,
absolutely hilarious.
Came a thing. That is the
Is that
the birth
it?
of the Surrender Cobra.
That is such a great meme. But man, I mean, as far as like bets that I can think of where I really thought, like, I can only imagine, like if the I don't know, the Colorado Michigan Cordell Stewart Hail Mary or something like that. I actually was on the right side of that one.
Yeah.
On that bet, but that was just like a $5 bet when I was a kid.
Yeah. I was
right?
on the right side of Michigan State versus Wisconsin because my buddy was a Wisconsin fan and I was talking shit to him.
But I'm talking like having serious money, which I did have on Michigan.
Yeah.
I would wonder like what would be on that level in other sports or in college football. Maybe the kick six if you had Auburn. I mean, if you had Alabama, the kick six.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
In
like
terms
that
of
would
just
be
getting your heart ripped out.
Just unbelievable. But
I don't
anyway,
think anything is because
the punter just had to go down.
Yeah,
If he just went down, they had to. They get a chance to throw a Hail
that
Mary.
was the most that you know what it's
Play's
like.
fantastic.
It's like Herm Edwards.
It is. It is.
The Giants versus
It
the
is.
Eagles.
That's a
It's
classic.
the only comparable thing. Man, Michigan State's had some great like dagger in the heart moments. That one against Michigan, the Hail Mary against Wisconsin, and the Notre Dame fake field goal
That's
for the
true.
touchdown.
But
in
you know which one
overtime.
killed me is when they went for 2 to beat Ohio State.
What
Remember
happened
that?
with that one?
I just wanted I wanted them to beat Ohio State that
Did
year
they-
with Urban Meyer.
They took the L.
Yeah, but I respected. They were like having a bad year. They went for 2 and the dub.
And lost by 1.
Yeah.
Ohio State's escaped some.
Let's hop into this though. The win total, like I said, 7.5. The juice going towards 8. Patty C week 1, and I should add in here that the Akron Zips play in week 2. That was supposed to be Boise State. They got out of that. They were supposed to go to the Smurf turf. Week 1, Friday, September 2nd. Western Michigan Broncos. Western Michigan was actually pretty good last year. They beat Pitt, but they lost a ton. Caleb Ellaby's gone. Their star wideout is gone.
8-5 for the.
They're
Broncos
gonna. I think
last
they're
year.
actually gonna wax them because like they lost a ton. I was doing my Mac preview and I was going through them and man,
Yeah, you got to give that one to Sparty.
yeah. And then they get Akron the very next week, so I think they'll be able to wax the first 2.
Yeah.
Week 3 they travel to Seattle to take on Caleb DeBauer and Michael Penix. Last time they saw Michael Penix, they almost lost to Indiana. Now he's in Seattle. You know what I mean? And Patty C, I am calling for the Washington Huskies to win this one.
In Seattle, it is a powerful environment there in their favor. I'm going Sparty though.
Really?
I think I'm going to believe in Mel Tucker for a little bit here.
I think Caleb. We know that what am I talking about here? The defense for the Washington Huskies was really good last year, right?
They were, but they still were only 4-8.
I know,
4-8,
but
11-2.
but I can count on Caleb DeBauer. I really believe he is a great football coach, and I think that hire might be one of the best of the offseason.
I agree. I think he's very good, but 4-8, 11-2.
Sure, but I still think Michigan State struggles at the Pac-12.
That's true.
And I think in Seattle, that is a low key, very hard place to win.
All right, you got him at 2-1.
I got them at 2-1, and I'll put it like this: they're either going to lose one of these two to Washington and Minnesota.
I don't agree.
Really?
Yeah,
You're crazy.
you're crazy.
You're fucking crazy. Tanner Morgan and Ibrahim are back at Minnesota.
That is a tougher game. They might. I mean, there's a higher percentage that they lose one.
They're
of
coming
those
back
two.
from the other side of the country.
They get them at home. They get a team that they were better than last year at home,
I think.
record wise at least.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you got them 4-0. Wow.
I do have them 4-0.
I'll go 3-1. Right.
Yeah.
Potentially 2-2. At Maryland, we just did Maryland's preview. Go listen to that. But we called for Michigan State to win that one.
We did. I'm
So you have them 5-0 now.
starting to push like they need to have a loss by now, just based on how lucky they were. But 11 wins last year.
TMZ Pat making his appearance here.
I'll keep them at 5 wins here.
I got him at. I'll even go 4-1, even though I think there's a good chance they're 3-2.
They might be 4-1 here, but
I think there's a good
5-0.
chance they're 3-2.
You think Washington and Minnesota?
I do. I think that's a tough back-to-back there.
All right, I think you're throwing some shade here.
Well, I think I made my point on how lucky they were last year and how that's really hard to do.
4-8, and what was
And not getting Kenny Pickett in the bowl game, the first quarterback drafted.
Minnesota 9-4
fucking
last
hack.
year? Okay,
You're a hack. At
this son of a gun.
home to Oklahoma. Or, I'm sorry, Oklahoma State. Home to Ohio State, October 8th.
I'll tell you what. I'll have them 4-1 coming into this. Hosting Ohio State. There's another one where they pulled the dagger in the heart with that kicker doing the windmill guitar.
Yeah, that was great.
They ruined their playoffs with that, right?
That was great. Absolutely great.
They're gonna lose that.
Yeah, I got them losing that, so I got them what 4-2,
Mm-hmm.
and I think unfortunately, it's terrible to have Wisconsin as your next game. I got Wisconsin beating them. I got them 4-3 after 7.
That is tough. I want to have, but that's a tough start of the schedule. Washington, Minnesota, Ohio State, and Sparty. Both those games are in East Lansing, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. I got them getting 1. Give me 5 and 2.
I got them 4 and 3. They get a bye week. They're at Michigan. Unfortunately, Sparty fans.
Michigan.
I know I got burned on this a couple years ago. Harbaugh is 0 and 2 against Mel Tucker. I really believe he's going to get this one.
10 out of the last 14 in Michigan State's favor.
I know, crazy.
I'm taking the Wolverines too.
I'm on the Wolverines. I got them at 4 and 4.
5 and 3 here.
They're at Illinois back-to-back away. Watch out. Watch out for Bielema.
I think you do need to watch out for this one a little bit.
I'm taking Sparty.
I'm taking Sparty too.
So I got them 5 and 4. They are home to Rutgers. Mel Tucker's 1 and 1 against Rutgers. I'll take it. 6 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got them 7 and 3.
Home to Indiana. I think they get it done. 7 and 4.
Yep.
At Penn State, I have Penn State winning.
I want to see what that series is real quick.
Last year was a 3-point game, and the snow was awesome. It was fantastic.
This is the Land Grant Trophy all-time series. It is a made-up rivalry, but it actually has turned into a pretty damn good series. 17 and 17 overall. The point differential all-time is by 0.1 points per game in Michigan State's favor. These are two very evenly matched teams. And I think Penn State gets a lot more love than Michigan State does, but Michigan State maybe coming up here. Let's see. Recently, this game's being played at Penn State.
Yeah.
They've
lost the last 2 of the last 3 they've lost.
Yeah. 2 of the last 3, but only 2 of the last 4, but then 2 straight at Penn State before that. They're gotten better at Penn State. They used to lose consistently
Who you taking?
In State College. I don't know, dude. I don't know who to take in this. They seem like the same exact team again to me. The fact that it's in Penn State makes me want to lean Penn State. I think I will. I think I'm going to have them at 8 and 4 here.
I got them at 7 and 5, and I think there's a decent chance for 6 and 6.
I disagree completely. I got them at 8 and 4.
I'm going to lock it up.
Wow.
I feel pretty good about this one.
You're only a half game under where you think they're what
look,
the line
I'm
is.
telling you, go through years past we've done this. Teams that get that lucky, you never get that lucky the next year.
That's usually the case. You're right. But I think 8 and 4 is what they hit, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's 9 and 3. This team was 11 and 2, 10 and 2 regular season last year.
Like I made my case. When you're outgained in 4 games in the regular
you
season,
end up winning.
Yeah. Look, I was right on Sparty on the over last year. Michigan State fans loved me. All right. I was getting some love. I was getting some messages. This year, I don't think it's the case. I think they're going to hate me, but look, 7.5, give me the under. I think 7 and 5, 6 and 6 is what's going to happen. You'll be bowling. You'll be in the Chimichanga Bowl.
That's really unfair for them to have to face Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State both on the road, and then Minnesota and Wisconsin in your cross division. That's brutal.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Last year they got gifted Northwestern and Nebraska and Purdue. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's part of the lie that was last year.
It's true, but
look, don't get me wrong. They still would have hit the over. But come on,
yeah, that
shit was an outlier a little bit. The stats don't back that up. I bet you if you looked up 10 years of every team in the country, you would never find a run like that.
Well,
where you're 130th defense.
Absolutely got lucky against Michigan last year, but they won 8 and 4. I'm hitting over. You're saying under,
and I'm locking it. Lock it up.
Wow.
Folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience as we talk college football year round. We handicap every single Division I game. And remember, we're breaking down every single team in the land, all 131 teams this year, thanks to the James Madison Dukes. But in years past, we've been doing 130. Subscribe, tell a friend. Also, remember, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. And by the way, get over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review already. If you do that, take a screenshot of your review. Find me on Twitter at TheColbyD or us, the College Football Experience, on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Show us that review. We'll send you a College Football Experience t-shirt. It will look like that pennant that's in if you're watching on YouTube. All right. Give Patty C a follow on Twitter at Patty C831. Give NC Nick a follow on Twitter at NC_NICK. Follow all of us. We are the College Football Experience and the College Basketball Experience. So check that out. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Just had Pat McAfee on the show. We had Mike Leach on the show.
Oh yeah.
A lot of good fun there. Bill Burr always on the show. Just go check it out. All right. You'll dig it. All of our other platforms too. I think you'll like a lot. MLB Gambling Podcast, College Baseball Experience. I don't know. Go on NBA gambling podcast. You can go on and on and on. NFL fantasy football gambling podcast. We got you covered. You get the app for free and you'll get access to all of that. So check out all that good stuff, folks. I'm on the over. I'm sorry. Patty C's on the over. I'm on the under. Jeez, I can't even get it right. This is the college football experience, Michigan State Spartan style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
So